about it. It's so fucking remarkable how he could be so, and his work ethic is insane. Like, it doesn't make sense when you see how he lives and like how they all carry themselves versus his work ethic when you see online and videos. It's like remarkable.
Yeah, money actually changed like nothing about his life.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. And Cody as well, Whistling Diesel.
Fucking great. Two spectacular
Dope
young
guy.
men. I'm very proud of them. Endlessly proud.
Made 2 new friends.
They yes.
Yeah.
Love you guys. And you definitely deserve every fucking thing you have.
That was so much fun to just like be a YouTuber again for the day.
Yeah.
And just like let loose, fuck around. It really like brought back this like old nostalgic joy.
I feel like Danny's at peace. Like he found peace.
For sure. And that town is like so cool, just fucking around every single day. I want to do more collabs with other like YouTubers and just like do more fun things. I feel like I've missed it. It's been like out of my life. I've only focused on boxing, and I realized that's like such a big part of what I initially loved to do, was just like be around other creative, funny ass people who love to do crazy shit.
It just got oversaturated. Like, and at the time,
Yeah.
when you were like taking a step back, it was like a bunch of social climbing. So I understand it, but like, and it's hard to find people like this. Like, it's very slim to none, and a chance of finding like 2 people who are just as like grounded as they are. It's like oftentimes it's like the fakest, weirdest relationship off camera, and on camera it's like some fucking I don't know. Like, it's draining. It's definitely
it didn't feel like forced at all. Like from the moment we like pulled up, and even meeting Cody, like everything was just like super. It clicked super well.
They're like I love
The
it.
threesome you didn't know you needed, the trio.
They're so fucking awkward in person. That's when I first met Cody. We, like, just had like a separate conversation. He didn't even know how to like properly shake hands, and then he like grew into comfort. That makes me happy. Like, you see like a sporadic ass weirdo with a camera, and it's like the first thing they do, they're just fucking Tasmanian devil wild. It's like, oh, this guy has no soul.
Right. Are you gonna take some more time for stuff like that? I know we're a few days out now from your fight, and you had said you're gonna take some time for yourself. Where's your head at? First of all, I guess with the fight, now that you've had some time to digest everything, how do you feel? What's your takeaway? And then also, what's next?
Yeah, very, very, very happy with the fight. Like an amazing event. So much has come out of it. So much love, support, good things. Everyone on the business side, we absolutely crushed it. It's looking like 500,000 plus pay-per-views.
Congrats.
Biggest gate, and that's U.S. pay-per-view, so like it means more because it costs more in the U.S. So massive number, massive success. There's like statistics that show the Google searches from that night. We were like #1 most searched Google trend by like 10 times. Trended everywhere. Just biggest gate, biggest ticket sales, biggest sponsorship. So
Drake, it sounds like you need to come over to Better Pitch.
yeah,
Man. It's a seat for you right here, baby.
Download Better. But yeah, just great, and happy with my performance, happy with my cardio. The new team absolutely crushed it, and having so much confidence moving forward. And I truly showed myself what I'm capable of coming back from a loss on the biggest stage and just going 10 rounds with the dog, walking the dog, putting him on a leash. And yeah, I'm hungrier than ever, man. Just like wanting to take some time because I've been going hard for 8 months straight. Not sure what's next, but had a meeting with Nikisa this morning, and we went over a couple of different options of different routes and paths to go next. And there's a lot of like interesting things on the table, but I'm gonna take a couple more days and really like digest things. And we've just been going back to back to back. Music videos dropping out. It's probably already out by now if you haven't seen that. Podcasts, Impulsive, Mike Tyson, business meetings, better stuff. This just going non-stop, brand partnership meetings. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's been a whirlwind, so I haven't been able to like digest everything that's happened in the past couple of days, but I'm feeling really good about things.
In a weird way, that's what happens after fights. Like, it's supposed to be your time to relax and collect and take a break, but then you win a fight and everything starts coming to the table, so you have to take advantage of that. You have to take those meetings, and it ends up being
you actually get like way busier after the fight. When like you're expecting it to die down, you actually like have to step up to the plate and like do even more things.
Yeah.
The hardest part's answering all the fucking text messages.
I don't know how you do that.
It's I still have like 200 more to go.
It's very commendable because like you haven't had a single break literally from January to August. Like after you lost the fight, you literally the next day flew back and started working out and just stayed on it. And I haven't seen you out the gym for a day doing fucking 2 days. So like,
Yeah, the last I've only taken these 3 days off now.
you were eating Doritos yesterday. And I was like,
Doritos at like 3 a.m. and I felt guilty. I was like,
hey, he's not
what am
supposed
I
to eat
doing
those.
right now? And then I was like, nah, like I need to eat some fucking Doritos.
Last night you were also talking about like your ability to showcase your technical advancement in boxing and how you saw some people saying that they didn't see as much improvement as they expected from you, and you were explaining how against Nate Diaz you don't necessarily get to showcase technical boxing improvement.
That's
He's
a
not
dog fight.
a fighter that you technically box against. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, like if you're going in there against a really sharp boxer with like a high level of thinking, boxing IQ, it turns into this like chess match, and both people look really sharp and composed, and it looks more of like this art, and it's fancier and the higher technique. But when you're in there with a dog and you're just punching the shit out of him and he's not going down and he keeps on coming forward, it turns into just to a brawl, and who wants it more and who's punching harder and who's throwing more punches, and it's going to be sloppy against an MMA unorthodox fighter. But I think the people who like really see it, they see my left hook develop, first time dropping an opponent with a left hook, highest punch count, average 50 punches a round, balance, footwork, speed, body shots, combinations, moving on the outside, more feints, and then just not slowing down, my foot on the gas the whole entire time.
And you ain't throw an overhand right.
Yeah.
Not one time.
Yeah. He had a high guard, so it was more going to the body because he was blocking the shots up top. And it's funny, bro, like people think they know about boxing, and like someone specifically like that I know DM'd me and was like, yo, like why weren't you throwing the overhand right? And it's like, what? Like people think they know about anything to do with boxing. It's like, guys, come on now. Like if his hands are up like this, where is the overhand right gonna land, guys? Okay, welcome to the first grade. That's gonna get blocked up here. So what's open? Oh, look, it's the body. Like people are just like trying to like send tips and shit after the fight. It's like,
The discredit is my problem though, because like if you were anybody else on this fucking planet, anybody, if you were doing what you were doing in the last 3.5 years, 4 years of learning how to box from literally fucking ground zero, like if you compare your first fight to your current fight, everything has improved. Your competition, your skill set, your knowledge, just all of it. And it's like,
Yeah, but look at where the discredit is coming from. Like,
yes, no, right, but like, what the fuck doesn't click for certain people? It's like,
I wonder what doesn't click when these people that have these things to say, whoever the fuck they are, wherever they are, when they see professional fighters praising your performance, when they see professional fighters saying nothing but good things about your performance, do they feel dumb about the fact that they're saying the polar opposite? You know, like,
who's praising?
they don't, but dumb people don't know they're dumb. That's the problem.
It does, if one of the,
It's like
if,
a serious,
if one of the
it's
fucking,
really the biggest problem in America.
one of the idiots who typed out these comments, whatever the fuck they're saying, took 2 years of their life training for just to fight Anderson Silva. Just take 2 years of your fucking life, 365 days straight. Dedicate that to fighting Anderson Silva. He's gonna fucking smoke you. You take 2 years of your life, a year of your life, 6 months of your life, whatever the fuck, however long you want to take to train, you go fight Nate Diaz, he's gonna whoop your fucking ass. You go fight Tyrone Woodley, he's gonna whoop your fucking ass. This, like, people don't realize, and then I'll say something like this, you'll say something about it, and people be like, oh, they're glazing. You don't fucking realize this is all within a span of 3.5 years that this man has learned how to wipe out a fucking professional, a legend of a combat sports. Like,
Well, and just going 10 rounds in my 8th pro fight, which the only other fighter to do that is Tyson Fury, but that's after 40 amateur fights. Gervonta having 200-something fights before fighting in 10 rounds.
10 rounds and
it's
8
like,
fights, bro.
It's unheard of, but people just don't even want to give that any credit
It
whatsoever.
makes people like sick to their stomachs.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't wanna hear it.
just- Like, bro, it doesn't matter how you slice it or dice it. Nate Diaz is a fucking legend, bro. That man is a dog. He's a zombie. He can't get put down.
I will say this is where the Jack Harlow line comes in, and it's the ones who hate me the most look just like me, and it's typically when I see the people who are hating on me, it's typically someone who's around my age that's a male that probably I make them like feel insecure or lesser than because they wish they could be doing what I'm doing. But you don't see the older generation. They respect it. They realize how hard it is. Even the younger kids are like, this is amazing. Look at him. I'm supporting him. Best boxer ever. It's literally the most hate, I believe, and what I see comes from like a 28-year-old male who probably feels belittled by him realizing he's like sitting on the couch at his mom's house or some shit and he can't accomplish what I did.
Yeah.
Do you ever care to showcase more of your life? Because no one sees that you're in the gym twice a fucking day, working out and working hard and like doing everything possible to be the best you can.
It's a never-ending game though to try and combat all that. Like that's a never-ending game to try and prove to the world, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why I was hoping the Netflix doc would have more of like the actual training behind the scenes. It didn't really like show the rigorous routine. It kind of like just skipped over it. I didn't show like how I got this good because that's what people don't realize is like there had to be time, effort, and there's no shortcuts in boxing. You literally can't shortcut it. You have to do the thousands of repetitions and the sparring.
1,000 hours.
But they'll see, I guess, eventually, or I guess the results can just speak for themselves. But I'm more so in a game right now of proving to myself what I'm capable of and proving myself right. Because now it's to a point where I saw the first ever, maybe not first ever, but one of the first tweets ever from a super respected boxer, Oscar De La Hoya. He was now the first one to put out the narrative that agreeing with me that I will be fighting for a world title. Because I think after he saw the performance, going 10 rounds, 500 punches in 10 rounds, which is more than Canelo's last fight, average punch per round. And now I think people were like, oh my God, he went 10 rounds. Oh my God, he looked really good. Oh my gosh, what could he look like in 3 years, which is when I'm saying 2026 is when I will go for the world championship and contend for a world title. I think this fight did something to make people like finally realize like, oh shit, like he wasn't joking. And I think people were thinking that I was maybe just saying it for like marketing or to like create hype. But I think maybe now they realize that I'm being dead fucking serious.
The problem is I don't think people understand what like manifesting is. It like blows my mind. Like when you mention someone like Canelo or like a big fighter that one day you want to fight, or like you believing that you could knock out fucking Mike Tyson, whoever the fuck. It's like when you're young and you say, oh, I'm going to make $1 million one day. Like, have you said that? Did you not say that when you were young?
Yeah, 100%. But the biggest thing is when I was getting 70,000 views on YouTube and I wrote in my shower, Jake Paul, will become the biggest vlogger in the world. And then the other one said, Jake Paul will average 15 million views a day on YouTube. It seemed impossible, but then you just fucking do it.
That's the thing.
And I literally got to that and became still the world's biggest vlogger in the history of YouTube. No one will ever beat it. No one will ever beat my average daily view count. Cemented as the GOAT, the greatest vlogger in the history of YouTube forever. And yes, I'm being a little bit braggadocious right now because I don't do it often, and I'm not